Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome here to what is going to be an exciting night of racing here at the Hickory Motor Speedway for tonight's racing action for the Red Light Scrambler Series presented by Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Tonight's race being brought to us by Colony Tire Service Center. I am Upstate Al and proud to bring you in all of tonight's racing action here from Hickory Motor Speedway as our friend Roger Moon is on location. Well, we're not sure what Roger is doing, but he's at a racetrack and we're gonna miss him. Welcome in everybody. I am glad to be here, glad to bring you all tonight's racing action. Qualifying is underway for the Checkered Flag Auto Supplies Scrambler Series, and tonight the super late model. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are ready to go racing here tonight. Now let's take a look at our 6 rings starting lineup. Here tonight is going to be on tonight's pole, the provisional pole sitter from the Rev Esports team. It is Michael Trevarthen. Outside of him, the driver out of Florida as well in the Rev Esports number 1. Your current points leader for the Scrambler Series here on Thursday night, it is Dalton Williamson. Scott Duncan and Dave Bragg will make up row number 2. Eric Stout in the 6 Rings Racing number 6 will start in spot number 5. James Skelton picked up the win 1 week ago. He'll start 6. AJ Hamill, Mr. Confusion Motorsports number 18. For AJ Hamill will start 7th. Outside of him, the Racing Schools number 21. It is Dan Butler. Brandon Feeney and Aiden will start in 10th. Row number 6 will roll off Brian Bianchi and Rob Higgins. 13th will go to Mark Jenkins. Outside of him is Granny Hips himself. The number 13 is Josh Buckley. Doyle Lawrence, Philly Edwards will make up row number 8. Row 9 will go to Braden Wynn, AJ Watkins, and Bob Higgins rounding out your field. That is your starting lineup here tonight, presented by 6 Rings Racing. We thank them very much for being the presenting sponsor of your starting grid. Race is about ready to go. Green flag racing. The pace car is in. Trevarthen going to lead them off at turn number 4. Green flag is up and we are underway in the Colony Tire Center. Here tonight, 100 laps of racing action as they roll down the backstretch. One car already sideways, yellow coming out. Brandon Feeney has gone around in the number 38 automobile. Feeney here going to go around, and other drivers involved look like Brian Bianchi in the Culpeppers Bakery number 5 had gone around as well. Heavy right front damage to that automobile. And we are slowed for the first time. Let's take a look back and see what happened to bring out the yellow flag. Brandon Feeney going around in the 38. Turns 1 and 2 on the bottom side of the racetrack. Oh, and a little bit of contact between Bianchi and Feeney. Aiden getting involved as well. That'll bring out the yellow flag for the first time here tonight. Want to thank everybody for tuning on in. We say Ryan Aldini got in on there. Roger Ruth, he's in from Charlotte with the posse. Good evening, fellas. Hope you're enjoying the World Finals. Yeah. Race cars are on track here too, Roger. But that's what's going on out there on the racetrack. They're going to get pointed in the right direction. Lights are still on there. Michael Trevarthen set fast time, sat on the pole, and just like that, the lights go out. We are going to be back to green flag racing here momentarily. Is the pace car going to be down here away? Green flag coming back out onto the racetrack. Let's go on board. Off the front of this one with Michael Trevarthen looking up the back at the rest of the field. They get back up to speed. Trevarthen showing the way so far in this one as they work down here through turns 1 and 2, right down at the bottom of the racetrack. This is one of the newer speedways on the iRacing circuit here for these drivers. Tonight they are in the awful powerful super late model. Good side-by-side battle back here. Drags towards the outside of the speedway with the Jiffy Lube number 31. Beat down around the number 6 of Eric Stout, and we're feeling the pressure from Skelton now. Skelton taking a peek to the inside. One car going around. That is the 13 of Joshua Buckley. And Buckley going around. Bob Higgins involved as well. He might have just come to a stop to avoid the spinning car of the 13. Does not look like it has taken any damage though. Maybe a one-car spin there. With Josh Buckley bringing out our second yellow flag here of the evening. Here on lap number 9. Oh, contact there. Looks like Doyle Lawrence getting into the back side of the 13. And the 13 gone around through the spin cycle. Everybody doing a great job with making it past there. Let's take another look from Joshua Buckley. His rear mirror contact there from the front of the Dodge, and around he will go. And everybody gonna make it on by. No harm, no foul. Joshua Buckley will get back to the 19th position. Once again, we thank everybody for tuning on in here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. That's not for myself or Roger. That is for the race car drivers themselves out there. That allows them to know that you appreciate their efforts of putting on a great race here like they do each and every week. The field works down the back stretch. Trevarthen led every lap so far. Williamson runs second. Scott Duncan started third, runs third. Dave Bragg, Eric Stout rounding out your top 5. Biggest mover of the race so far, well, that belongs to the number 14 of Brandon Wynn. He's up 5 spots, started 17th, going to restart now in that 12th position. As we get ready to go back, green flag racing. Once again, looking off the back left side of the pace cars, it's going to make the hard left-hand turn to the safe haven of pit road. Just like that, we're ready to go back, green flag racing, and we're on board. Down on the turn number 1, they go. Side by side, they look at Williamson working at a 3 wide down the backstretch. That time for a moment, still side by side in front of this one. Williamson trying to make a move, trying to pin down his Rev Esport teammate in that number 2, but can't quite make it stick that time. AJ Hamill working around the outside, and he'll move into the top 5. It looks like maybe Skelton and the 31 of Brad made some contact, and they are stacked up and jammed up, killing tight back here as they all work through turns 1 and 2. Watch the 7 of Doyle leads inside the top 10, works in the next spot here, looks 14 of Wynn. He's knocking on the top 10 for the first time here tonight. Made into that 271, runs in the 12th position, trying to make it past that. Side battle up off of turn number 4. This is for the 10th position. Jenkins trying to hold on to it on the outside in car number 99. The inside line a little bit too strong. Early contact that time. Everybody settling in and already quickly working into lap number 19. No change at the front though. It is Trevarthen, Williamson, Duncan, your top 3. They have separated themselves by 3-4 car lengths over Eric Stout and AJ Hamill. their alliance. As they work off the turn down the back stretch. Dave Braggs in that 31. He runs in the 6th position. 7th spot is the 86 of James Skelton. Coming into the night, Dalton Williamson has a 30-point lead over A.J. Hamel. Dave Bragg is 3rd. Buckley and Scott Duncan, your top 5 in points as they came into the racing action here tonight as Bob Higgins has gone off the tracks. In the number 30 is slow to get back up speed. Left front is completely locked up and the yellow flag going to come out for the checkered flag auto supply. Car number 30 of Bob Higgins. Bob will get that car pointed back in the right direction. Doyle Lawrence down on pit road. Looks like contact, or Lawrence has taken the number 7 behind the pit wall currently. Let's see what happens there with that. So let's take a look back and see what happened to Bob. Working here, Lawrence up on the outside of the racetrack. He comes down the 30. Oh, just got on the gas pedal a little bit too hard off turn number 2. Spun the rear tires from all the power from the performance parts that they got at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply. And brought them down to a yellow flag number 3 here tonight. Working already on the 1/4 mark. Short track racing action here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We appreciate y'all tuning in here tonight. We're at Colony Tire Service Center, 100 at the Hickory Motor Speedway for the Checkered Flag Auto Supplies Scrambler Series here on Thursday night. 1 week's time, Walt, you'll have Roger back behind the mic here, and they will be at Lanier in the high-powered Legends. You have not seen the Legends race with this group. They are highly entertaining, and what a great track for the Legends to be on at Lanier. That'll be in 1 week's time next Thursday night, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So Lawrence on pit road in the number 7. I do believe he has taken his car behind the pit wall. We'll have to see if the 7 comes back out. Multiple laps down right now. 1 car down on 1 lap. That's the 30 of Bob Higgins. He was the reason for our 3rd yellow flag here tonight. As we get ready to go back, green flag racing. Lights are out around the racetrack. That means we're going back. The pace car takes the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Trevarthen into the restart zone, and we are back underway. Down here in the turn number 1, Williamson with a check up to the outside, doesn't allow room for Duncan. Duncan unable to do anything with him. Stout works the outside of the speedway as he's trying to crack inside the top 3. He's got a good run that time by Eric Stout. Down here in the turns 1 and 2, rolling the outside when confusion works for us. He doesn't know which way to go. That's A.J. Hamel in the Arts Barber Shop number 18 and Y/Vermont. Trying to figure out which way he would like to go. Good battle behind them though. James Skelton working underneath the Bragg. Off of turn number 2. Into turns 3 and 4 to go. Bragg on the outside of the racetrack. Trying to find which way he would like to go to get around this racetrack. Some nice little speed shot there. Presented by our friends at Colony Tire Service Center here tonight. As now they work here watching this battle behind Eric Stout. We got James Houghton. How about the 14? Up 10 positions, trying to make it 11. He's works to the inside. Brandon Wynn in that 14. Trying to crack inside to the 6th position as he's made his way inside the top 10. We closing in on lap 34 in the books now, starting lap 35. Skelton now with a look to the inside. Eric Stout going to go back to the wrong direction. He is losing spots here to the inside. He is stuck to the outside. in that Six Rings Racing number 6. One car up the racetrack. That was Jenkins. Now Philly Edwards is going to go around. Don't spill the coffee. Tim Horton, 73, going to go around here to bring out our 4th yellow flag as he'll get the 73 pointed back in the right direction. And we will see what happened to Philly to bring out this yellow flag here tonight. Marking right there is the 0-1 of AJ Watkins behind him. Oh, the 5 of Bianchi was down in the infield. Something had happened to Bianchi. He checked up. Let's go on board. Oh, Bianchi had contact up there. It looked like maybe with Aiden and the 99 of Jenkins gets pointed back in the right direction. Just clips the left rear quarter panel. Oh, that's 73. As we come back live, we'll see what happens. But Bianchi and Brandon Feeney both on pit road. It looks like the 30. Bob Higgins going to get the free pass. He'll get back onto the night's great lead lap. Bob Higgins going to get there from Leo Minister, Massachusetts. The checker flag auto supply. Entry number 30 back on the lead lap. And you got to be on that lead lap in order to have a shot at the W. But up front, that has been the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Set fast time in qualifying. Sat on tonight's provisional pole. And now has led every lap so far as we close in. Just 10 laps shy of halfway. This time by the light should go out on the pace car as they cross underneath the stripe. And they do. So we'll be back green flag racing here tonight. Dalton Williamson second. Scott Duncan, AJ Hamill up 3 spots, but he's got to start on that outside now. He's trying to gain some points back on the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Green flag is back out as they race down here in the turns 1 and 2 side by side. Dalton Williamson with a nose out front. Trouble is back in the back of the pack. The 14 going around, and I believe the yellow flag is out, and I think Williamson now going to be your lead car. Getting a good start there. Let's go back and see what happened. Tough break for the 14er Brandon Wynn. He had made his way all the way from the 17th starting spot to get inside the top 10, cracking the top 5, and goes around. Goes down here in the turns 1 and 2, and just comes down where the hole wasn't available. And around will go the 14 off the front end of the number 31 of Dave Braggs. Try to fit in there. That's how important the inside line is, folks. Got to get down there as soon as possible. You can maybe make it work for a corner or 2. 14 down on pit road, trying to get some of that damage fixed. Got Aiden's fan club tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning on in here tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Allow these drivers to know that you appreciate their efforts for you tonight. We got 2 thumbs up. I think we can do a little bit better than that. Let these drivers know you appreciate the efforts that they are giving you here on the racetrack as we close in on the halfway point here tonight. Dalton Williamson now going to be on the point in the Rev Esports BK Paints number 1. Outside of the front row will be the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. Scott Duncan runs in third. And that is where he had qualified. So no big changes up at the front of this one. A.J. Hamill up 3 spots, qualified 7th, now running in at that 4th position. James Skelton inside the top 5, and that's number 86. Dave Bragg runs in the 6th position. 7th spot is the number 6 of Eric Stout. Aiden Alvecchione in the 271 is 8th. 9th, Josh Buckley. Nice rebound for the 13, rounding out your top 10. The 99 of Mark Jenkins. Pace car down and away. We're going to go back green flag racing off of turn number 4 as the wave of the green flag happens. We are back underway. Williamson down the inside. Slight contact with the 2-inch Trevarthen. Up the racetrack he goes. Side by side battle. Now single filing it out. Trevarthen right to the back bumper. Skelton trying to fill the hole. Trying to get down to the inside. A.J. Hamill, I believe he will do so, as he lost one position out there side by side with Big Bag on the outside as he drag races the number 6 here for spot number 6. Eric Stout works the outside side of the racetrack. Good battle off of the corner down the back stretch they go. It is going to be the 6 of Eric Stout wrestling that spot away. Josh Buckley runs in the 8th position, trying to take that 7th position away. And that is the battle for 7th. Joshua Buckley, your hard charger so far of the race, up 6 positions, but that isn't the full story. We are just past halfway. Early on in this race, Josh Buckley got turned around, went through the spin cycle. Set into the back of the field, but he is patiently. The car does not look wounded at all. He is now inside the top 10, trying to get a little bit more. Mark Jenkins now tries to get our implement into the contact here. Down here in turns 3 and 4. Jenkins going to get by him. Dalton Williamson still leads out front. He's got 2/10 over Trevarthen, but Trevarthen starting to feel the pressure by Duncan. Skelton as well right there inside the top 4. Top 5 cars throw a blanket over him, a little bit of a gap, but now the yellow flag comes out. We will slow it down. Bob Higgins has gone around. And I believe Brian Bianchi was involved as well. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to the number 30 of Bob Higgins. Higgins works down the back stretch of turns 3 and 4. Oh, and Feeney was involved. Heavy left front contact. So it happened a little bit further. Let's go back and see what happened. Goes to the inside. Oh, and the Culpeper Bakery, number 5 of Jordan Bianchi. Slammed the door shut, but the nose was already in there. And around they went, and they will collect Bob Higgins. And that's what brought us underneath our 6th yellow flag of tonight's race here. Brought to you by Colony Tire Service Center. We're going to bring you tonight's live pictures from the Hickory Motor Speedway without the great support of all the sponsors that have made this season possible for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Red Light Scrambler series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Once again, glad I could fill on in here tonight for our good friend Roger. Well, Doyle out of the infield care center, but glad to see that you're all right. Get better, sir. We hope to see you on track next week here. So Doyle Lawrence will be out of tonight's race. Our first car out of the race, not feeling well, was treated and released from the infield care center, and we'll see you on track next week, Doyle. Rest up, buddy. Feel better. Green flag back out, though, here tonight. And Williamson with a good jump down to the number 1 Scott Duncan trying to fill the void to the inside to the end of the number 2. A.J. Hamill holds on to 4th as he slides in behind Scott Duncan. Eric Stout runs in the 5th spot. How about the number 13 of Joshua Buckley? He's waging war on the inside of the 31 of Brad. Your top 5 single file it out. The 40 of Rob Higgins runs in the 8th spot. He just got by Vecchione in the 271. Oh, hang on to it. Dan Butler. He'll get turned sideways. Holds on to it, and James Skelton is going to be able to squeeze on by. Still more contact here at the back of the field. Good, nice save. That's what they teach you at the racing school, and Dan Butler using it to his advantage there to hold on to that race car, but lost a lot of positions back into the 14th position. Up front, top 4 starting to squared away for the rest of the field. The 5th spot, Eric Stout. Josh Buckley runs in 6th. Fastest lap of the race was turned 1 lap ago by the number 86, James Butler, or James Skelton. He ran a 13:94. That's the fastest lap of the race. 1 lap ago. Battling is deep and heavy back here as we go on board with James Skelton. He's got Jordan Bianchi, who hits the outside wall hard. Bianchi up and over on the front stretch and quickly makes the toe as we are underneath the yellow flag for Brian Bianchi. And Bianchi not having the night that he would like. He is taking that car behind the wall. As we are on board with James Skelton when that happens. Let's take a look here and see. Bianchi trying to work to the outside of the 3rd gate of Feeney. Off a turn number 4, gets up to the outside, got a little bit loose and climbs the wall. Brings us out here tonight to a yellow flag. Working on our audio here. Hopefully that makes it sound better. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Yellow flag out onto the racetrack here in the Colony Tire Center as we're closing in on already 25 laps to go. That's what we're closing in on. Your race leader, the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Up on the front of this one as the lights go out, they'll double them back up. Number 2 of Michael Trevarthen is in your number 2 spot. Scott Duncan, A.J. Hamill. So we get ready to go back. Green flag racing here once again. Green flag back up, and Williamson Trevarthen ready to go. Trevarthen going to try to steal that race lead back. Set fast time in qualifying. And now going to have to try to come back here and wrestle it away from his teammate. Your current points leader of the red light scrambler here, presented by Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Scott Duncan right to the inside. Can he make a move? Now on your race, the number 2 of Trevarthen. Trevarthen up the racetrack. Here comes Duncan to the inside. Side by side drag race in the turn number 1. Duncan has the preferred lane, but it's the number 2 of Trevarthen really hanging on to it to the outside. Great discipline by these drivers not to make contact as they still are side by side down the front stretch. Now Trevarthen slams the door on the number 989 of Duncan. That stacks up the 18 of A.J. Hamill. Now your top 6, 7 cars single file it out. Aiden Alvencione into the 8th position. Feeney up to 9th and James Skelton with a rebound inside the top 10. Skelton working underneath the 38, actually working around the outside. But look at the Higgins battling it out. Bob and Rob side by side. So Checkered Flag Auto Supply. There as they work up the racetrack. Here comes the 14 of Wind as they are 3 wide off of turn number 4. Great racing back here outside the top 10. Wind works to the inside. He was inside the top 10. Feeney. That is Jenkins in the 99. They make some contacts. Higgins up the racetrack. Still 3 wide off of turn number 4. Still settling it out side by side. And Williamson is starting to stretch his legs out on the front of this one. Almost a 1 second lead over Trevarthen, who is being hounded. Right here by the number 989 of Scott Duncan. A.J. Hamill runs fourth. Eric Stout in that 5th position. Oh, hang on to it. Bragg to the inside. Stout trying to close it. Now we'll go around right in front of the 13. And Eric Stout going to go through the spin cycle off of turn number 2. And that will bring us out underneath the yellow flag here with 16 laps to go. We were watching it. Let's go here and take another look at what brought us out our yellow flag with Eric Stout. Up off the corner. Oh, in the 31, our Bragg just got tight up off the corner. Tight, close racing right there. And the 6 Rings Racing entry of Eric Stout will go around. And that'll bring us underneath our yellow flag here once again. Stout down on pit road. We are closing in on the 10 laps to go side. Part of tonight's feature event. Presented by Colony Tire Service Center. We thank everybody for tuning on in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know you appreciate the awesome racing they are putting on for you. They come back, they watch this race afterwards, and they look and see that thumbs up. They just make them race harder next week. And next week they have a task on hand. They will be in the high-powered Legends cars at Lanier in 1 week's time. And that will be a good show. Lanier, one of my favorite racetracks on the schedule this season for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series. So make sure you tune on in. Roger will be back. Muth in the booth. We'll be back in the booth. We'll let him out this week. We said you're pretty good behavior, so we'll let you go. So hopefully, you know, the Turn 3 Racing Network posse down there at Charlotte at the World Finals, enjoying a good show here tonight. They'll tune in afterwards. They can never get enough racing. Lights are out. We're going to go back green flag racing this time up off of turn number 4. And it is Dalton Williamson. We'll see 11 laps to go when they get into the restart zone. Green flag is up. We're back underway. Williamson with a good jump down in the corner. Trevarthen trying to make a move. He'll be able to clear Scott Duncan. A.J. Hamill slides into that 4th spot. Here comes the number 13 of Josh Buckley. He's trying to make it inside the top 5. He works the outside of Bragg as they still battle it out door to door. Now it'll be the 86 of James Skelton. He's trying to fill that inside void underneath Josh Buckley. Skelton was on pit road back on lap 58. made some adjustments to that 86, and they seem to like it. Yellow flag coming back up. Brandon Feeney has gone around here on the front stretch. Put us underneath our yellow flag here with 7 laps to go. Let's take a look here and see what happened to Mr. Feeney. He is racing hard there. Oh, trouble in front of him, actually. That was the number 6 of Eric Stout that went around up off of the corner. And they're Brandon Feeney. Let's take a look here and see. Feeney working underneath Avecchione off of the turn, the corner, number 4. Oh, and Jenkins gets in the back corner panel. And around will go the 38 of Feeney to bring out tonight's yellow flag. As we close in, this time by will be 5 laps to go as the field paces underneath here. Closing in on the end of this one. Dalton Williamson snickered it away on the outside on the restart after our 6th yellow flag to wrestle it away. Williamson came in as your current high points man. Would love to go to victory lane here tonight. Trevarthen runs in spot number 2 in car number 2. Third spot is the number 989 of Scott Duncan. Then it's the confused one, A.J. Hamill. In the Arts Barbershop, number 18. Running in the 4th spot. Dave Bragg runs 5th. James Skelton 6th. Joshua Buckley 7th. Aiden Avecchione in the number 8 spot. Mark Jenkins and Dan Butler rounding out your top 10. Lights are out around the racetrack. We're going to get a green, white, checkered potentially. Here is the field paces in the turn number 3 and 4. Pace car parking it on pit road. Green flag is going to come up. They have 2 laps to go. Oh, A.J. Hamill in trouble, and this yellow flag going to come out. It is something going awry on the start. And A.J. Hamill in trouble here tonight. Let's take a look and see what happened on the green flag. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin and up and over it went. Jenkins involved in hard contact for both A.J. Hamill and the 99 of Mark Jenkins. Both heavy contact, and the 18 is down on pit road. Mark Jenkins still able to soldier on here as we are underneath green, white, checkered attempt number 1. Is green, white, checkered attempt number 1 coming at you. When we go back green flag, back to green flag racing. Tough break there for the driver that came in second in points behind Williamson. A.J. Hamill caught up in that one. Mark Jenkins also involved. He is down on pit road with the Virginia's 99 entry. Your biggest mover of the race? Well, it belongs to the number 30 of Bob Higgins. He was caught down 1 lap early on in this race. Got back on the lead lap, and he is up to 10th after starting 19th here tonight. He is your Checker Flag Auto Supply hard charger so far of this race, but the race is not over. Him and Josh Buckley are tied for it. Buckley also up 9 spots as he runs in that 5th position as the lights go out around the speedway. We will see what happens this time. Up off of the corner, pace car makes the left-hand turn. Will come down pit road to get serviced by Checkered Flag Auto Supply, and the green flag is back out with 2 laps to go. Good start that time by the number 2 of Trevarthen, but here comes the inside. More trouble out back. Yellow flag coming out. And we will be back to green-white checkered attempt number 2, as it looks like the broadcaster curse continues as the 30 of Higgins seems to be the reason for of this caution. Let's take a look back here and see. He gets sideways and catches the right rear. Not hard contact. He should be able to carry on without penalty. But the yellow flag coming out here once again. Once again, thank you to everybody tuning on in here, and glad to be tapped in on this one. I love super late models. I love short track racing, and love what the Red Light series is doing here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler series here on Thursday nights. Next week, well, it gets scrambled up really big. We're going to go to Georgia. Lanier is the race facility, and they will pull out the legends. And what will be an entertaining 2 and 3 wide racing all night long. You will not want to miss it. Booth on the Booth will be back and be able to bring you out the call of that one next Thursday night right here at 8 o'clock on the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you have not liked or subscribed to our channel already, please do so. Here you have racing 7 days a week, all the way from the dirt tracks to the high banks of Daytona, to the road courses, everything in between. We have it right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You will not miss anything. Get notified every time we go live. Lights are out around the racetrack. Green, white, checkered attempt number 2. Coming at you. Who do you think is going to be out there? Can Williamson hold on to pick up the victory, or Trevarthen pick it up? Scott Duncan has been laying there in the weeds all night long in that 3rd position. Green flag is up. We're back underway as they race down here in the turn numbers 1. Trevarthen working the outside. They're going to think about going 3 wide down the backstretch. Can't quite make it work. This time off the corner, they're going to get the Culpeppers Bakery. 1 to go. Down the backstretch they come. It is the number 1 of Williamson showing the way down here in the corner. Off the corner, Skelton's going to get turned sideways to Vecchione. Also, Williamson will pick up the win. Duncan will come home 3rd. Trevarthen 2nd. Josh Buckley going to come home 4th. And Rob Higgins rounding out your top 5 in what was a wild finish to the end of this one. And it will be Williamson picking up the win. Trevarthen coming home 2nd. Scott Duncan, Josh Buckley, Rob Higgins, unofficially your top 5 here tonight. As they come down here to the front stretch, Dalton Williamson's going to pull it in to victory circle. And we are going to take a quick break right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'll be right back with your Holy Shirts post-race show here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Hickory Motor Speedway and what was Colony Tire Service Center night here, as we brought you tonight's racing action here, as we are now moving in to our post-race show presented by Holy Shirts, and we are going to talk to tonight's feature winner here tonight. That is the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. And he picked up the win here tonight, and we'll bring him on in. Down here in Victory Lane with the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. And Dalton qualified second, had that outside, and you got that good restart back with after the 6th caution of the race. How'd you get it done? How'd you make it stick? And how did you get tonight's race win?
Well, to be honest, me and Mike were discussing that. I don't really know how they gave me the lead there, unless it was a timing loop issue at this track that I don't know about. But, I mean, I was going to try to, me and Mike were discussing that. I was trying to make the outside work there on the restart, and just kind of, I was either going to ride behind Mike and save my right front for a majority of the run, and then try to, you know, speed up there at the end. But I kind of went balls to the wall there for the majority of the run once I got the lead.
Well, you had a great race. This racetrack, I mean, probably a little bit more yellows than what that we are hoping for. I'm probably a little bit nervous there coming towards the end here. 2 attempts at a green-white checker to get it done here tonight, but the racing behind you was intense. Not sure if you were looking out the rearview mirror that much, but the racing was intense. Hickory always puts on a good show.
Yeah, I was expecting. I mean, I got a little bit of a bumper there at the end there. I was definitely prepared for that. You know, obviously I knew Mike wasn't going to wreck me. Scott or any of them guys were going to wreck me. You know, I was expecting a bump, try to move me up the track, you know, short track stuff. And, you know, it was a pretty good show up front.
Very good show. Next week, you head to Lanier and the high-powered Legends cars. 2 or 3 wide action we're going to see next week. What's the outlook for you tonight? Great points night. Your championship rival, AJ Hamill, having a little bit of trouble there on a restart. You really worried about points at this point of the season, or are you just out here trying to collect trophies?
I don't want to say that yet. I know I have a pretty good points lead, but I mean, at this point, I'm just, you know, I guess you could say trying to collect trophies, because I don't think that anybody can catch me. I don't believe. I don't want to say that out loud, but I don't think so. But you know, just you know me, Al. I'm just trying to keep the positive momentum and just keep winning.
Yeah, just 5 weeks after this, and the super late models, what they're going to be put to bed for the rest of the season. And well, it's been a great season so far here for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Red Light Scrambler series here on Thursday nights. And once again, put on a great show, Dalton. And we know we'll see you on the racetrack soon. But who makes it all possible here tonight to get you in the victory lane?
First and foremost, Red Light Racing, Turn 3 Racing Network, you, Al, and Roger, for all the work you guys do up in the broadcast booth. You guys do a hell of a job. all the admin and red light, as far as sponsors, Maconi Setup Shop, Nitro Racing, Platinum RV Services, BK Paints, and the family for tonight for watching, and Revy Sports.
Well, congratulations on picking up the win here tonight, Dalton. Go celebrate this one, and we'll see you back on the racetrack in 1 week's time when we head to Lanier for the Legends race there. There you go. That was your tonight's feature event winner. We're going to check in now with a driver who finished in spot number 2, and that goes to car number 2. That's Michael Trevarthen. I slide down here on the front stretch in front of this jam-packed house here at Hickory Motor Speedway. And Mike, you set fast time. You led a majority of this race, but just got snickered out on one of those restarts with a quick yellow. Is that what made the difference here tonight?
Yeah, obviously track position was key here. Yeah, it's like that little quickie, little yellow came out. Looks like Dalton was out in front of me on the scoring loop and kind of stole it from me there. Like I said, I don't think had that have happened or had we've had longer green flag runs, I think we would have finished in a different order there. But a great race either way. Like I said, anytime you can finish top 3, top 5 in this group, man, nothing to take away from that.
Yeah, talk about the racing out there. I mean, the restarts and then those green-white checkers. Were you trying to do anything different, timing the green flag coming back out here tonight to maybe get a good jump to pinch and hold down your teammate? Obviously, you know, you don't want to wreck a teammate unless you're Joe Gibbs Racing. But, hey, you come home second. What did you need out of those last couple of restarts to maybe get by the one of Dalton?
Well, that's something we discussed earlier in the race as Dalton got up next to me a couple of times, and we practiced a little bit side-by-side racing and last night and earlier in practice, and the cars got really evil. You know, whether it was just you're off your normal entry line, whatever the case may be, next to each other, it just really wasn't worth wadding the cars up. AJ and Scott, the guys behind us, super fast, so you give them the opportunity to pounce, and of course they're going to close the hole on you. So the restarts, man, you know, Scott was really fast there. Felt like he had a little bit more rear tire in his car there towards the last 25 laps. So I was doing everything I could to get back down in front of him. And I, you know, overdrove the corners a little bit, overheated my right front, and it made me pay for it. So really couldn't get back up there and do anything with Dalton. But hats off to the group. Hats off to Scott for a hell of a run.
A good night overall. You're going to come home second here in the Holy Shirts post-race show. And next week you head to Lanier in those high-powered Legends cars. We're going to see a lot of good action there. What's your outlook for next week?
Yeah, hopefully we do pretty good there. You know, like I said, it's my first season in the Legend cars. So, like I said, a little bit of a new car for me, but, you know, we got a pretty good group of guys here. Revy Sports, we bounce things off each other. You know, hats off to Josh and Dalton putting in the work. And like I said, it obviously shows up on the boards week in, week out. And hats off to you in the booth there, Al. You and Roger always do a great job. Turn 3 Racing Network, Red Light Racing. They built a great group of guys here. I've loved racing here for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Outside of that, man, BK Paints, Revy Sports, Maconi Setup Shop, Platinum RV Services. And I want to give a shout out to the family, wife Melinda, my sons Justin, Brandon, and Jack, and to the grandbabies.
Well, congratulations here tonight, Michael, on picking up your second place finish. We hope to see you maybe one spot better in 1 week's time. Have a good week, and we'll see you on the track next Thursday night.
You too, brother.
There you go. That is your second place finisher, the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, coming home in that spot number 2. And that leads us to our third place finisher, the last driver to get here on the Holy Shirts post-race show. And that is the driver of the 989 of Scott Duncan. And Scott had a lot of pace in that Ford Mustang. Just couldn't quite get there to fill the voids on those last couple of restarts.
Yeah, my rear tires, I saved my tires most of the race. I kind of sort of planned for a green-white checker, but I didn't expect there to be 2, and I got the jump a couple times on the restart, and then my tires just faded after those couple restarts.
Talk about the racing here. We saw you keep pace with them. You had a good side-by-side battle with Trevarthen a few times there after some restarts. What was the difference of being able to complete that pass, or is it just the timing of the yellow flags?
Probably just the timing of the yellow flags. I mean, I could drive it into the corner fairly good. I was getting off way better than well, I guess I shouldn't say way better. I was getting off better than Michael. But then the yellow flags would come out just as I was starting to get the run into 3, and then that was it.
Well, overall, a very good night for you here tonight. Qualifying third, finished third. Doesn't look like you did a lot, but man, it's a lot to stay up there inside the top 3, isn't it?
Yeah, takes a. Yeah, I was worried about the last couple restarts, guys behind me, but.
Next week, you're going to be in the Legends car at Lanier. This is the last time we see the super late model, so is that a good thing or a bad thing for you?
I'm pretty fast at Lanier with super late models and late models. I don't really run a whole lot of Legends cars.
Well, it should be a good one here next Thursday night. Roger will be back into the booth, and well, we all missed that little the cue ball there. I'm sure that the lights are shining off his head there down in Charlotte. But who makes it all possible for this 989 to be on the Holy Shirts post-race show?
I gotta thank my dad. He watches every week, watches me spin out, and I gotta thank my buddies, Lewis brothers. They sort of keep me going through the week, you know. And last 2 weeks I got wrecked and DNF'd, so it's a good change, and I appreciate everybody that comes out and watches these.
Well, we really appreciate you for being the driver here in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Red Light Scrambler Series and making it entertaining for not only yourselves, but the fans and the drivers that watch this, and then your family members. We thank you. And we'll see you next week when we head to Lanier in those Legends cars. Good luck next week, and we hope to see you back here on the Holy Shirts post-race show.
Hopefully.
There you go. That is Scott Duncan, your third place finisher here tonight. And that will do it for the Holy Shirts post-race show. Only one thing left to do is to do our post-race rundown here for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Scrambler Series. Dalton Williamson picked up the win. Michael Trevarthen will come home second. Scott Duncan third. We heard from them on the Holy Shirts post-race show. Josh Bunkley finishes fourth. Rob Higgins fifth. Philly Edwards, Dave Bragg, Dan Butler, Brandon Feeney, and Eric Stout with a top 10. Brandon Wynn comes home 11th. AJ Watkins 12th. Bob Higgins 13th. Aiden will come home 14th. James Scotland, Mark Jenkins, AJ Hamill, and Brian Bianchi 18th. And Doyle Lawrence out early, released from the infield care center. He'll be back in 1 week's time, just like we will, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But it was Dalton Williamson picking up the win here tonight at the Hickory Motor Speedway for the Colony Tire Service Center 100. For everyone behind the scenes, I am Upstate Al. It's been a pleasure to bring you tonight's racing action. We thank you for tuning on in. Until then, we'll see you in Turn 3.